Hi, and welcome to episode 11 of our series in which we present Agentforce Vibes. My name is Philippe Ozil. I'm a developer advocate at Salesforce. In a previous episode, we saw how to transition to SLDS 2.0 thanks to Agentforce Vibes. And in this episode, we'll explore how to work with multimodal prompts, that is, using files in addition to regular text-based prompts. We'll start with an overview of multimodal prompt support. Then we'll look at a demo that leverages various examples of multimodal prompts. You're probably already working with text-based prompts, and these constitute the vast majority of agent prompts. But sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. Multimodal prompts adds file support to Agentforce Vibes with two types of file inputs: structured files such as CSV or JSON, these are great for loading data, and unstructured files such as images or PDFs. These can be used to load diagrams from specs or build UIs from mockups. Note that multimodal is only supported for prompt inputs at this point, and you can't generate images with Agentforce Vibes. Before we jump into the demo, a quick word of warning. Multimodal prompts are currently limited to the Pro model and consume credits. If you are using a developer edition or a scratcher, you are granted a daily credit allocation. Once you deplete it, you will be downgraded to the core model until the next day. This means that you won't be able to run multimodal prompts in the meantime. Now that we've cleared this, let's see multimodal prompts at work. For today's demo, we're going to build a movie library app, and we're going to use multimodal prompts with different file types to implement it. We'll start by creating our data model from a PDF, then we'll import some data from a CSV file, and we'll finish by implementing our UI thanks to an image. Let's get started. I've prepared some basic specifications in my GitHub repository's README. Here you can see an entity relationship diagram of my data model. We have a movie object with some actor and director objects. We also have intermediate relationship objects to link them together. And below, we also have a description about the format and accepted values for the movie genre field. I've exported my README as a PDF, and I'm going to use it in Agentforce Vibes to generate my Salesforce objects. To do so, I use the context dropdown to select my file, and I can add my text prompt to it. The dev agent works with our requirements, and it creates the XML files for our object's metadata. This takes some time, so I'm going to fast forward the entire process. Once the objects are created and deployed, I can open my org and inspect my schema with Schema Builder. We can see that our objects match the requested structure. The dev agent was smart enough to create the object with the proper fields and build the master detailed relationships between our objects. This is a good start, but let's not stop there. Now that we have our data model, we need to load some records. I have retrieved a CSV export of the top 1000 best movies from IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. Our next task is to load it into Salesforce, but there's a challenge. Our file is a flat export file. It combines the data of multiple objects, and Salesforce doesn't know how to handle this natively. So we need to process our data with a script before we can import it. This would normally be a manual process, but it turns out that Agentforce Vibes can help us with another multimodal prompt. So I'm going to ask the dev agent to load the data and convert it to the existing Salesforce data model, then import it. The dev agent starts by looking at our objects and fields. It then builds a script to convert the CSV data into a JSON data plan that is compatible with the Salesforce CLI. Once the script is ready, we import the data thanks to the Salesforce CLI data import tree command. I'm now in my org. I took a minute earlier to prepare the list views and record layouts. As you can see, everything looks great, the import worked. List views are okay for a start, but I think we need a dedicated UI to browse our movies, so let's build one. I mentioned earlier in the series that I'm not a Figma designer, so I went for simplicity. I took a piece of paper, a pencil, and I drafted my UI. Here you can see my amazing skills and my mockup of my app's homepage. Everything is wrapped into a card, and there's a list of top 5 movies, followed by a search form with various criteria. And since I like a challenge, I even made the UI modular by having a reusable movie tile component that is described separately below. Let's head back into VS Code and ask the agent to implement the UI as Lightning Web Components. To keep things simple in this iteration, I've skipped the Apex controller and used realistic mock data instead. And I'll also omit tests. As you can see, the agent created 2 components, one for our app and one for the movie tile, just like I requested. Let's now check what it looks like in our org. And here we are. We can see our app's landing page with our movie list. This is really impressive because the agent was able to capture the essence of my hand-drawn sketch and turn it into this great UI, and the two look alike. It captured extremely minor details like this triangle in the genre box, and it understood that I wanted a drop-down here instead of a regular text input. This is pretty impressive for a first run, and of course you can iterate on this as you see fit with a mix of text and images. That's it for today. You've learned about the power of multimodal prompts in Agentforce Vibes. We took a look at the basics and limits of multimodal prompts. We then saw a demo of building an entire app with prompts combining text with structured and unstructured files. In the next episode, we'll look at working with skills. Thanks for watching. I hope that you found this content useful. Make sure to like this video and to subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and see you in the next episode.